And it's those who come after you're all dirty, nice and clean, and want to act like they did something. Well, I'm here to bust up shop and keep it real for you. You know who did what. That's right. Read the op-eds. You know who wrote what. You know who was where. And so, mic check. Thank you to BSC Partners for being here this evening. This is one of our gentlemen, in case you don't know who's always sitting in the room. Okay. What's your name? Tell us again.
Eric Woodland.
Eric is going to be in charge of the recreational portion of the armory, okay? So that's why he's here in these meetings, and thank you for being here. Now that the war's over, we actually got some real kind of affordability to work together. No, and that's how I have to treat people. You understand what I'm saying here? Tell you I didn't speak a word to him this entire battle, because there's really nothing for us to talk about until they got the configuration of the project right. And while we call for 100% affordability, understand that we were not crazy. We knew we were never going to get 100%. Now you know I know that now. We knew we were never going to get 100%. We knew that they offered us 20%, which was really 18, and we knew that in order to get a better, greater percentage of change, we needed to call for 100% and let us start up here and let them work us down. And so I want y'all to understand in CB9 the essence of a quote-unquote done deal. Because remember, they told us that that deal was done. They told us we couldn't get any change. I kindly remember somebody in here screaming at me, telling me I wasn't going to get any change in the armory. But we went from 20% affordable to 60% affordable. And I don't know if you know mathematics, but that's a 40% change on the done deal. We are the ones with the power, and that a done deal is never done until we are done with that deal. And let them have gone ahead with their $1 million condominiums, and you would have saw how we would have woke up the whole Crown Heights on BFC Partners and all of the above. But I'm done with that now. Let us not forget in this public meeting, and let you don't forget that we know there's asbestos in that building. And if that asbestos is not handled appropriately, don't think we sleeping on you. Don't think that we are sleeping on the MWBE requirements. Don't think we're sleeping on the asbestos. And you see, Senator Hamilton spoke about it in one way, but I'm going to hone on it in a different way. There is a plan for our community. Yes. And members of CB9, you have to understand that you are in a decision-making seat because you guys are voting members of what is going to get passed through this board for this community and what is not going to be. And so there is a real serious plan for this community as far as housing is concerned. It is not happening by accident that our rents are doubling and tripling. It is not happening by accident that at the same exact time there's an attack on 2 different high schools in our geographical area. It is not by accident. And so for where we are geographically located in Brooklyn, because now they have gobbled up all things to the north of us, right? Come across Brooklyn Bridge and watch the flow of gentrification and watch that they are here now. And so we will constantly be at battle right now in this community, protecting those who are here, protecting what we have, and ensuring that this community is a community for us and not for who they're trying to usher in. Well, I want you to know I'm here, I'm ready to fight. And so now, as we're done with the Bedford Junior Armory, which we're not really even done with, because we got to watch them as they build that and make sure they do the right thing and make sure they adhere to their promises. Because if you learn anything from Atlantic Yards, is you can't take the developer's word. Hello, somebody. Okay? Now that we are done with the first phases of the Bedford Union Armory, let me keenly turn your attention to what's getting ready to go down with Vital Brooklyn. And the difference between Vital Brooklyn and the Bedford Union Armory was that the Bedford Union Armory is city-owned land ran by the city elected officials. Praise God that Vital Brooklyn is state-owned property run by the state elected officials, and thank God I'm the state elected official in charge of your Vital Brooklyn. Hello? Okay? Now, with that, I have to come before you guys, and I said that I was going to come before you guys in November, but I was dealing with death on my end in my family, and then I was dealing with death in other people. It seems like death really did come in threes for my whole team. And so that kind of prolonged us, you know, in getting things together. But we have submitted a final proposal to the executive branch. And so what does Vital Brooklyn mean? There will be changes coming to SUNY Downstate. There will be changes coming to Kingsborough Jewish. There will be changes coming to Brookdale. There will be changes coming to Interfaith. And there will be changes at Wyckoff. That's your 5 hospitals that's in there. But while you think it may just be health, It also has a lot to do with housing. I will be receiving over 1,100 units of housing, mostly on that Kingsbrook Jewish land, okay? Pay attention to that. And also SUNY Downstate as a community partner has several plots of land throughout the community that you're walking by day in and day out, and you don't know that state-owned land, and you don't know that's getting ready to be developed through Vital Brooklyn, okay? Trust me, when I put in our housing numbers, I went straight off of our affordability based off of our census with our AMI, looking for 40 to 45,000 in that range, going very, very deep for low-income housing and going very deeper than that for senior housing. I want you to know that at city-owned land, at the Bedford Union Armory, not one senior citizen on a fixed income could afford to live there. Ain't that a slap in our senior citizens' faces? So while everybody is clapping, we got work to still do, because there's a whole segment of our population that we didn't even seek to help through that project, that we must help them through Vital Brooklyn. We got the second highest concentrations of evictions in this neighborhood. Again, that is not by design. And when you look at the eviction patterns, they're going all along the Q train line. So as we see, they're gonna come on the Q line, they're gonna branch out to the 2 line, and they will branch out, move in east into the 3 line, but they're not so eager to go east yet because the transportation isn't built out as far east as it should be. But the minute that they build out the transportation east, forget it East New York, forget it Brownsville, y'all are next. So pay attention to what we're doing here in Crown Heights. I'm going to come back in January and present the full Vital Brooklyn proposal, but let me go over the components. Health, housing, youth development, workforce, okay, so education, job development, and workforce training, and healthy food and sustainable energy. That's the 6 components. I have a meeting that I'm hosting monthly. It is called Civic Minded. It is usually the 4th Saturday of every month, which means it should have met next weekend, but it met this weekend that just passed, the 13th of December, because next week is Christmas week, right? At this meeting, I'm asking you guys to please show up. For instance, this is a community board meeting. I can't possibly stay here any more than I have stayed here already at this time. I'm supposed to only bring brief updates, correct? But if I didn't tell you about Vital Brooklyn, and trust me, it's getting ready to go like this, and trust me, we've been talking about it, but you know where I've been talking about it to the community? At the Civic Minded meeting. Because that's my forum where I have 2-3 hours to really get down and dirty with you and explain to you what's happening at the state level. You guys gotta come out. When you look at our community, and you look at the communities right around the other side of Grand Army Plaza, what is the difference? They are showing up in numbers and droves. They are not reactive, they are proactive. We are moving to reactive. We only come out when there's a new shelter. We only come out when there's a demonstration or something like that. We don't have to do that. When are we coming out to build? When are we coming out to converse? When are we coming out to share ideas and to map out how we want this entire thing to look? You understand what I'm trying to say to you? That's the 4th Saturday of every month, Civic Minded. Somebody call out the 4th Saturday in January. Somebody do it. Look on your phone. Help me out. Look at the 4th Saturday in January. The meeting is at 2 o'clock p.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. January 27th will be the next Civic Minded meeting at Middle School 61400 Empire Boulevard, 2 o'clock p.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. As far as Albany goes, let me just say this. It is very hard sometimes to understand how we connect as state elected officials, especially when we represent you here, but we are within a city, correct? Yeah. But just imagine the trickle-down effect. And so the federal government is trickling down to us on the state, and we're trickling down to you guys in the city. We are dealing with a $4.5 billion budget cut as a result of that tax bill that President Trump is moving forward. $4.5 billion. So when we talk about the budget this year, yeah, we're going to talk about ways that we can grow, but there's not going to be many ways that we can grow. This year, we are going to be on the defense. We have to ensure that the budget lines for the things and the programs that actually matter to our community, all of a sudden don't find itself with a 0 next to it, okay? And then there's other things that are being funded in droves. We have to make sure that we don't get the short end of the stick. And so right now, we're kind of like going through that whole debacle with the budget. So, you know, that's that right there. There's 3 top issues that we always have to focus on at the state level. Number 1, criminal justice reform. Criminal justice reform. Number 2, education reform. And number 3, housing. And if you look into all three of those particular areas, and you look at what makes people successful, you need a roof over your head, correct? You need education, right? And guess what? Let God help you not to blackmail and that you don't have some kind of contact with the criminal justice system. Because if you do, the laws are written as such that it is really looking to put you away for a very long time. The racism in the laws are so evident when you read them. And you have seen the impact of the racism in the laws, but you're not necessarily understanding how is that racist. Well, criminal justice, I don't have to announce all of that to you. You kind of know what was going on with criminal justice, right? You keep hearing everybody say something about bail reform right now. Yes, that's because many people are sitting on Rikers Island right now for all but $5,000 to $1,000. Like something that could have really been figured out. No one has to sit 2 years in prison for that. So that's probably going to be one of the hot button issues. It's like an add-on to raise the age, which I'm not going to go into all of that, but just it's an add-on to raise the age. As far as education is concerned, we are the most co-located school district, School District 17. Every single school in our school district has a charter school in the public school building. Why is it not like that in the school district around the circle of Grand Army Plaza? Ask yourself why. Again, Senator Hamilton told you there's a design. The question is, are we present for the conversation to push back when they come up with these ideas? Are you guys hearing me?
Yes.
Okay, the laws have everything to do with that. And last but not least, housing. We fought a hard battle in 2015 for housing. Why? Because we are also the third highest concentration of rent-stabilized apartments in this central Brooklyn area. Y'all hear that? So when you are hearing that apartments are going for market rate rent, you know automatically it's not something the vast majority of this district could afford, because why? We are the third highest concentration of rent-stabilized apartments. Our apartmental rent for most of us are capped at a certain area. Now, I don't have to go into telling you, look, thank God I live in this building. It's a Mitchell-Lama building. I'm out here fighting for affordable housing. It's not for myself. I'm trying to tell y'all something. Our heat and our electricity is included in our rent. We have spacious units in this building. When I'm out here fighting for affordable housing, I'm fighting to keep my neighbors looking like my neighbors right now. I'm fighting for us, okay? And so we were only able to get very menial changes in the state law for housing. Why do you guys think that is? They never lied when they told you there was money in politics. They never lied to you when and if they never told you, I told you, the money is in politics. A quick check could get a lot of people to do a lot of things. A quick check could get you to vote away. A quick check could get you not to vote. A quick check could actually get you to run out the chamber when it's a really important vote. I've seen that before. I keep that to myself. You hear what I'm trying to say. REBNY is the Real Estate Board of New York. Have you guys heard of REBNY? If you haven't heard of REBNY, write them down and Google them. They're a very, very, very affluent group who lobbies elected officials. They push their agenda, they push their legislation. And whereas the real estate industry has people in Albany and has people in the city who are paid to go in and influence legislators, you have to be out here influencing your legislators and letting them know that you are educated and holding them to task and that you actually know what is going on so you could get the changes that you need. So we're going to pick back up the rent battle again in 2018, although the rent laws won't come up for renewal again until 2019, because understanding Governor Cuomo, look at my face, y'all. We better start a year ahead. And if you looked at my face when I told y'all guys about Governor Cuomo, I'm dealing with Governor Cuomo in Vital Brooklyn. And I just told you that I'm about to get 1,100 apartments to Vital Brooklyn, right? And so how do you guys think I feel when I know I'm negotiating with someone who loves the real estate industry more than the constituents? Well, I actually love you more than I love them. Either way, I'm ready to fight. I'm here. I'm Assemblywoman Dinah Richardson. My office is on Empire Boulevard between Nostrand and Rogers. I hope I've made y'all proud thus far. If you need something, I'll be in the back.
So you've been receiving a wealth of information tonight. Yes. And I want to thank the Senator, Assemblyman Mosley, and Assemblywoman Richardson for coming out. We have two more. I'd like to call up our district leader, Alicia Boyd.
I'm going to stand right here. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. So my announcement is very quick. First, let me wish all of you a safe and healthy holiday season and a wonderful 2018. Let me also extend my condolences to the board. I just came from the wake for Ethiopia Green. And yeah, what a wonderful and amazing woman, the mother of former Assembly member Roger Green. And I remember the last time in March, she invited me to her church to talk about women in government. And one of her favorite women in politics is someone who you all know, and of course, that's your public advocate, Tish James. So they were there tonight, tomorrow for the funeral, and the board has the information. Have a safe and healthy holiday season. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and thank you for sending that information. So for those who would like this information, the funeral is tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Yes.
at Concord Baptist Church. Okay, so the funeral is tomorrow at 10 a.m. at Concord Baptist Church. And that's 833 Marcy Avenue, off of Putnam.
I just want to say this about Assemblymember Green, former Assemblymember Green. You know, many of you know the interfaith fight, even a lot of stuff happening around Vital Brooklyn. But Roger's really been on the cusp of a lot of things in terms of knowing the facts. So, you know, still fighting for our community, although he's no longer in elected office.
Let me just back that up to say that she's 100% right. Before I even sent in my proposal to the governor's office, I let Assemblymember Roger Green. That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. Roger is excellent. A lot of us started in politics working with her. And Mrs. Green, as you may or may not know, was one of the founding members of Board 9. All right, so that's history. That's part of the foundation that we stand on now. All right, so hopefully we get a chance to go out tomorrow. I'm definitely going to pay my respects. And before I bring you up, just so you know, one of our fellow board members, Yaakov Berman, lost his father. Okay, so let's keep him in prayer. As you know, those things around holiday time, we lose a lot of people, but let's keep everybody in prayer. All right, so the last person, and not least, I'd like to bring up Representative Board President Eric Adams, Jeff Lowe.
Hi, good evening, Community Board 9. My name is Jeff Lowell. I'm the Deputy Policy Director for Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams. I'm filling in for Ryan Lynch tonight. I think you switched your meeting to Thursday, and that's his night to pick up the kids, so he's asked me to stop by. And I have a long-standing policy of not standing between a large group of people at a holiday party. I'll be very brief. I brought these packets, as usual, which have a lot of events that are coming up at Borough Hall, things that the Borough President's working on. I'll just point out one and a couple of announcements. One is that we have our New Year's celebration. Every year we do one at Coney Island, one right here at the top of Prospect Park. So please come out and celebrate New Year's with us. There's a flyer in here giving you all the details. Second, I want to let everyone know that the Community Board reapplications and applications have opened. They're on our website, which is brooklyn-usa.org. If you're up this year, please jump on there and put in your application. Or if you're not a board member or would like to become a board member, please make sure you put in your application as well. I think they're open to the early first week in February or so. So you don't have to rush today, but no need to wait. Second, our capital budget application will open at the end of December. And last year, the Borough President gave over $55 million to schools in Brooklyn. And that's what he wants to give his money to the schools. So if you know a school and they have some sort of capital need, please encourage them to apply. It takes about 40 minutes for a school to apply. It's a pretty easy application, and we're really looking to give to schools who have not received in the past. So anyone who said, oh, I've never gotten that money before, that just increases their odds this year. So please do that. So other than that, on behalf of the Borough President, Ryan, and myself, I just want to wish everyone a wonderful holiday season and a Happy New Year. Thank you.
So all board members, make sure you sign in if you haven't. Before we get to the business session, please sign in. And again, we only have one application to vote on. We're almost through, and then we'll move on. So last but not least, I'd like to bring up our district leader, Jeffrey Davis.
Yes, hello everyone. We just gave out toys. I was on the other side. We just gave out tons of toys. Brooklyn North, Chief Madry has a sleigh ride. So it was about 15 jeeps and cars and trucks. And it was about Brown Park. We just gave out tons of toys. It was amazing. It was absolutely magical. So, Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah. Happy New Year. I see you guys all. Remember, no stress. Take care of your health. Take care of your health. Remember loved ones. This is the time of year. Friends and so forth, when they get depressed because they lost loved ones. Just call and check upon them. Right? Just have a conversation with them. Some people get this time of year really depressed. Call and check upon them and say hi. All right? And I see you guys next year. And let's keep on. Keep it on and doing for our community, doing the best we can. We can agree and disagree in an adult-like manner. God bless you.
Amen to that. So that'll bring a close to the acknowledgement. Now everybody, we gotta keep it down because there's no mics in here, so just keep it down. I know Jeff is popular. So we're gonna move on to our public comment period. We're almost done. I know the food's back there, but we're almost done. We have one person signed up to speak. As you may know, and especially board members, you have copies of the court order, that the decision that the judge made. Whenever you have time, take a look at it. It gives you clarity on what the board has to and does not have to follow, and what we have to do. One of the rules that has to be done is during the general comment period, at the general board meetings, we give community residents 3 minutes. Just keep it down for a minute. This is only once a month at our board meetings, not at committee meetings, not at other stuff. So we're gonna be in line and follow the law. We give 3 minutes for our community residents. We may agree, we may disagree, whatever. One person sign up, Ms. Alicia Boyd.
Hello, my name is Alicia Boyd, and I'm here to give you an update on the court cases that have commenced on behalf of the community. Boyd versus Library is pending a hearing on January 11, 2017. This is in regards to the falsification of CB9's vote and recommendation for the Bedford Union Army. Boyd versus Martinez has been decided, and the judge ruled in favor of the community, and null and void CB9's vote to elect Carmen Martinez. However, it is believed that the judge made an error regarding CB9's obligation to notify the community of its meetings, and this will be heard on January 4th, 2017. Boyd versus CB9, in the final decision, the judge agreed that once the rezoning request for studies given to the Department of City Planning, the community board is simply advisory, and city planning can change whatever they like to the original request. However, the community believes that the judge made an error when he ruled to say, in a nutshell, that the community residents should be seen and not heard, and documents may be created behind closed doors in secret. The residents in this community believe it is impossible for any community board to do its job, which is to address the needs of the community and represent their will if the community board does not allow residents to speak at committees, subcommittees, hearings, general board meetings, etc. As it is impossible to hold people accountable for their actions if we can't see what they are doing. As a result, this case is being appealed to the second highest court in the state, and we will keep you informed when the case has been perfected. The community will also challenge any and all actions related to this rezoning request until a decision has been reached by the judge. Finally, MTOPP will be documenting the community board and its behavior regarding community residents' ability to be heard at committees, hearings, and general board meetings. If anyone is or has been denied the right to speak at any open meeting conducted by CB9, this includes hearings, committees, subcommittees, or they have not been called upon when writing down their name to speak, or the time has been cut short, please contact MTOPP at 718-703-3086 go to MTOPP.org, that's MTOPP.org, and contact us there. We will be documenting this behavior, and we will be addressing it within our lawsuits. While I was away, I heard that Jacqueline Welch. While I was away, I heard that Jacqueline Welch passed away. MTOPP would like to send our condolences to Mrs. Welch's family during this time, for we are aware of how difficult losing a loved one is around the holidays. Finally, I would like to wish everyone a happy and joyful holiday season, and we'll see you in the new year.
Thank you very much for the So, just to read into record, if you had to have a chance, because you will not be speaking at committee meetings and other stuff, so you can move forward on that now. On page 11, the judge decision, if you have it on you and you turn to it, starts on the bottom. I'm not going to read the whole thing to it. This is the judge, directly from the judge, from the courthouse. The open meetings law provides that the public has the right to observe the performance of public officials and attend and listen to the deliberations and decisions that go into the making of public policy. See open meetings law. The law does not require public participation be allowed. The open meetings law also permits, with me, public officials can make rules as to how they permit participation in meetings, so long as the rules are not discriminatory. Both the city charter and the bylaws provide for the public to speak at monthly public meetings. While the city charter provides that the public may attend committee meetings, there is no requirement for public participation. So, whenever you get a chance, please feel free to read this. Understand, this is the ruling from the judge based on lawsuits brought by that organization. So, we will 100% follow the law. So seeing that brings it into the public comment period. We're going to go to business session, and I'm going to ask, please call the roll. Board members, do not leave. We have one item to vote on.
Yes.
William Boone, Reverend Philip Brown, Greg Garvey, Ben Edmund, Rosemary Upton,
Yes.
Henry Brennan, Rabbi Malcolm Grove, Tessa Hackett Beyond, Bishop Gonzalez, here, Aaron Redcroft, Ola Spoon Holder, Daniel Easterstein,
Hold it.
Louis Jonathan, Linda Lawson, here, Francisco Leopold, here, Michael Library, here, Matthias Limberger, Carmen Martina, here, Scott,
Here.
Vivian, Pat Moser, here, Beverly Newcomb, here, Bill Pierboone, here, Pierre Raymond, here, Perry, here, Rabbi Shovalo, Rashida, here, Aisha Smith, here, Rabbi Shirley Furlan, Joseph Spielman, Joyce Stewart,
Yes.
Ada Terry, here, Debbie Timothy, here, Stephen Willis, here.
27 present, we have quorum. So, moving forward, minutes of the November 28th, 2017 Community Board meeting. Before we vote on that, under my report here, on the chairman's report, if you recall last meeting, I appointed a search committee for our district manager position. One name is missing there, Rabbi Dr. Gross. We need to add his name to this, because there's a total of 7. So, just so that before we take a vote on the minutes, I'll read the set of names of the search committee. Tessa Hackett-Vera, Ben Edwards, Augustine Blackwell, Rashida Sadiq, Yunella Rome Perry, who is the chair of that committee, Rabbi Kadima Sperling, and Rabbi Dr. Gross. So those are the 7 names that will be on it. So with that added to the minutes, I need a motion for the minutes. Thank you. Second. All in favor? Aye. Any discussion? Anybody opposed?
I have a correction.
Yes.
Joshua Boyd, last name is spelled incorrectly. I'm trying.
What page is that?
Four.
Okay. Gotcha. So, Joshua Boyd, B-O-A-R-D is the correct spelling. B-O like board, like community board. B-O-A-R-D. So we need to correct that last name on it. So, again, that's another housekeeping matter. So Joshua Boyd, B-O-A-R-D, who's a representative for Assemblyman Walker Bowles. All right, so adding that, in addition to adding Rabbi Dr. Gross to the minutes, let's do the vote again. I need a motion with those corrected.
Motion.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any discussion? Any opposed? Passes. Thank you. Committee reports. It's been a very busy month. So first I want to say thank you to our Economic Development Committee, who did a fantastic job. And see, Warren, I can't take credit for that. I'll take credit for appointing the chair. Real
Well, just for the record, I was told it was a pro-chairmanship.
No, that's yours.
That's the way it works. If you are the committee or chair, would you mind standing up for a second? These are the folks that pulled it together. And a few more. To those of you that were at the kickoff breakfast that we organized, that was really absolutely wonderful.